Hey guys, and good afternoon. You join with good Lady Hippy at the bar. I'm at my bar, which is awesome. We are live. Join in on the better throw it up here. Live chat. Throw stuff in the comments. Like, dislike, do something. No, I do make no money doing this. I don't think I ever will. It is, as they say, for entertainment purposes only. I tend to get up here and speak my mind about anything and everything, and sure would like you to join me. We used to do this in the 70s. That 70s show was not far off. It wasn't. We used to get together and talk about anything and everything. I remember when they were talking about putting barcodes on stuff, and we're all going, okay, that's that stamp they said we can't get in the Bible. So I love to talk about anything. I fidget. I get up here and I fidget. I'm sorry. Um, I had some trouble. I did a podcast on Saturday. I put this on where it was going to be in my way. And it turned out my sound card had gone down. And I just thought it was my earphone. So I'm talking away for an hour and y'all can't hear a damn thing. So I'm going to have to pull that down. And I decided I was going to pop in here today since I had my husband fix it for me. I do have some help. And I love these little cinnamon fireballs, whiskey fireballs. He picks them up. They're the airplane bottles. Because he knows I love these. And I drink when I'm here at the bar, which is a couple of times a week and maybe once on the weekend if I've got time when I'm talking to y'all. Do please let others know. Hit the subscribe, hit like, do something. This is my second channel. I got injured severely almost 2 years ago, and it took a long time for me to come back on my feet, literally. I was in a bad way for almost 2 years. And now that I'm back, I'd love to see everybody. And I had to open another channel because I don't know what happened to the first one. It's just kind of not doing things the way it should. So I opened a second channel to get to my viewers. And I don't know if they know that this one is here. It's not that much different in the title because I just was hoping to put it in the search so that it would pull up and they would know it's me. So far, I don't have most of my audience back. This is, like I said, a bar. Now I'm looking. Where'd my lighter go? Oh my goodness. I did. I lost my lighter. I do these things. Sorry. It's on a Chromebook. Hang on. Where's my lighter? There it is. It'll do in a pinch. I'll get up here and find it. Okay, here we come. This is a big one for me. The bar stools are big. It's like the Ed Sullivan show. Here we go. There it is. If I turn, it's not doing what it should. Try one more time here. That seems to be better for it. Because if the darn microphone is off, I won't hear it in my headset. My husband warned me, if you don't hear yourself talking in your headset, then you don't have your microphone. So you're just up there pantomiming. I pulled the other one down yet. See, there it goes again. Oh boy. I can't tell. There it is. Maybe if I touch nothing. When I am up here, my husband allows me to have my little cigarillos and my tiny little fireball that I really enjoy. You'll see me looking around because I'm also expecting a friend of mine who just had a baby about a year ago. And the baby is just awesome. And she's coming by with the baby so I can see the baby. And here we go again. Hello. It's doing it again. I don't know why, but it is. It could be this one, but I don't know. And it's annoying for it to do this. Like you can hear me. Hello. There we go. It's going to be one of those days I think I had to go shopping, everybody, and God was out. I realized then it was St. Patty's Day and I'm Irish, so that was fun. Cheers. That cinnamon at the end. And to have some lovely brandy cherry wine. It's a soda. It's brandy wine. Mm, it's really good. I like my all my sodas to be in glass bottles. I'm old fashioned. I remember when you could stop at the grocery store or the gas station in particular, and your dad and mom would let you go over and pick you a soda. You could have a knee high, but you couldn't have a Coca Cola or Pepsi Cola because my father said everybody got addicted to that. And we now know why that was. But we could get knee high, so they were great. We'd always get orange, strawberry, or something. And they had them in the big silver coolers with the ice, and it just stayed cold forever. You could hardly get it. So I like that. And I like the little airplane bottles. I'm afraid I'm the last surviving member of my family. They all pretty much died of cirrhosis of the liver, except for my adopted mom, and she had a heart attack. Not that I have a great ticker either. If you read anything about the bio, let's see, Army veteran, published author, mother of one, grandmother of two, and one of those, my grandson, is also a Army veteran. I also have three stepchildren, and the oldest is in the Army now. He trained through Fort Sam to be a medic because of the stories he said that he used to hear from me. I was so touched by that. The same with my other grandson who went in the Army and did his 3 years. He did it because grandma pushed him one way and get your skills, get paid for it. They feed you. You got to do like 9 to 5. It's not hard and you know what to wear. A little bit different orientation than I did as far as boot camp and stuff, but not much. We were the first company of women, I should say companies, first battalion of women. So you had, Alpha Bravo, Charlie Delta Echo, each had a platoon of women. None of us knew that until we landed in Columbia, South Carolina for Fort Jackson training because they had disbanded the WAC Corps, the Women's Auxiliary Corps, as we were in the air, apparently. I don't know. But it was fairly interesting and we'd been up for 4 days by then, didn't know where the hell we were, what was doing, and what's going on. Had shots and all that stuff. The men were fainting. It was hysterically funny. By the time you've been up 4 days, you're just goofy as hell. And the CO gets up there. We finally get to sit down and ground our gear, and believe me, that was 400 pounds off our ass. And it says, we used to jump out of helicopters and kill people, so y'all can't be women. You have to be soldiers. None of that says, Shane, and I better not see any lipstick. I fell out. It just seems so funny to me. I said, okay, we'll do that. You can go if you don't think you can make it. You don't have to stay. Won't be dishonorable or anything. It's just that you never were here, kind of thing. I was like, this is a challenge, buddy. I'm from Chicago. I'm back off from shit. Let's do this. Watch Private Benjamin with Goldie Hawn in the lead. It's like a tenth of what happened, but it gives you a fairly good idea. You had to run everywhere when you were training on base. When you were Fort Jackson, you could not walk anywhere. You had to run, which is a good thing. I used to do all those things at my school. We had swimming, we had track, we had gymnastics. I was in all of them, gymnastics, tennis, all of those things, and more, much more. My husband, I took him to see where I had gone to high school at. It wasn't open that day or that evening when we went, but I walked him along the course where we had a high school that was like a college here. And I was stunned when I first came here because my child was only 9. And the biological family had found me. My son wanted to know. My little sister wanted to know. So, of course, I had to fly in. So, yeah. And turns out I did the DNA test, and they kept saying I was Native American. My sister was dark-haired, brown-eyed, olive skin. It was like, these are different fathers. There was 2 stepbrothers or half-brothers. And it was one of the half-brothers' wives who reached out to find us. We were on the Parade magazine because the parents were older World War IIers, and they got paid a stipend each month for each daughter or child, however you want to put that. We paid the house off, and he gave it to my brother, which is nice. We didn't even get the dollar. You're supposed to give him a dollar. We didn't get that shit either. So I'm guessing he didn't care much about the girls. But it's understandable. The boy that was adopted was their own nephew, and so what can you do? And they get to make their own decisions, as far as I'm concerned. And I still love them dearly. They took on two girls, 9 and 7 years old. Actually, even earlier than that, because we were foster kids with them for a while. I love the orphanage. We lived in at that time. We lived in a little orphanage that was run by nuns. I got to where I didn't like nuns very much. You'd screw up and they beat the absolute piss out of you with a ruler. It was they'd throw you in this room, had toys and stuff, but it was all glassed in. And you could see the people looking at the kids going, hey, that was kind of cute. I used to throw shit at the window. Get out of here. So this family that did adopt us decided to do the interview with us and everything. They brought two baby dolls, one for me and one for my sister. And I managed to rip the head off and give that back to them. It was not nice. I was reading college level at 9 years old, and so they wanted a family that would let me follow those leads since I was way ahead of everybody at 9. And no, I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that's the way it was. And I didn't want to skip classes was the thing with me. So the adopted parents said, "Well, we'll leave it up to her. If she wants to go ahead and go into a higher grade, she can do that." But then I wouldn't have been able to graduate, with my friends and all that. So I chose to just stay there, and I graduated early. And then I went to another high school because I was bored when my parents retired and I couldn't get into the army yet, a delayed entry. So I had all this time. So I went to school, but I wasn't at school. I was the principal's secretary. But I counted as school. It was crazy. And I was going to junior college and I'd already gone through ROTC. And so I had rank when I went in. I wasn't just a buck nothing. I wasn't just a trainee. You're a buck private if you have one chevron. When you get to 3, you're a private first class. And so I landed in there, with 3. So, it's like I told the girls, you can bend all you fucking want, but if you break, it's because I did it to you. Because I was in charge the minute I got there. My nickname is Wicked. It stuck with me for all these decades because when I fell out, he pulled my my sheet. He says, "You're from Chicago?" And I said, "Yes, drill sergeant, I'm from Chicago." I weighed 88 pounds, was 5'2". Been in karate since I was 9, but uh, my eyelashes hurt out the first day. So, so he says, we jump on a helicopters and kill people. Again, I'm out. I'm dying. That's when he gets out of the sheet. He says, "You can't be from Chicago." I said, "Well, I can. I can." I don't think you can cancel that. But she thought it was funny. At this point, they're kind of giggling. He says, "From now on, your name is Wicked because you don't even have a record. So you need to go find you a record." Then he made me they called me his favorite pet because if there was typing to be done, so I ended up doing the regular training. I never got sleep. And then I would go and help with the office work because they had to do it themselves. And they didn't want to do that. And they weren't very good at it. So I would go in and spend an hour or so to pick up the day stuff and get it all done for them. And so that was my thing. So I got let out of a couple of things. That's true. But nothing that would have interfered as training as a soldier. You trained as a soldier. You did not train as a woman. And it was cute too. I don't want any sashaying, none of that hip stuff. I'm dying laughing. I'm 17. Going on 18, but I wasn't quite 18 yet because I had to have my parents sign the admission forms and all that. It was something, I'll tell you that. But now we've got women fighter pilots who are so freaking awesome. The Golden Knights is a young lady, is their first female fighter pilot. In is it? I can't remember. I think it's the Golden Knights, but she's in one of them, and she was the first. So those doors were knocked down in the 70s when our battalions of women didn't fold, when we didn't run and hide. We didn't go back to mom and dad bake cupcakes. We stayed where the fuck we were and said, screw you. What you got? The first time they handed me a grenade, I knew it wasn't a real grenade, but the point being, they handed me the grenade. I'm like, run. They're looking at me. What the fuck? I'm like, I was picked last in softball if I was picked ever. Y'all got to get the fuck up out of here, which they thought was hysterically funny. And I was like, because you have this wall, you got to throw it over. And you launch a grenade. You don't just throw a grenade, you kind of launch it. That's the way I felt. And I thought, I'm going to fuck this. Because some people would actually, the wall was 8 foot. So you had to get it over this wall and you had to go a couple hundred yards out for you to qualify to use a grenade. And I knew for sure, I said, I'm not going to qualify to use this shit. The first one, perfect. I threw the furthest for the day. And they said, let's try it one more time. And I got it, and it landed a little bit further out. They said, you're pretty good at this. Saying, no, I didn't know, but thank you. And then I went on. We all had in between training for firing our M16, so qualified as expert. Shocked me. I'd never been around a weapon. And so we girls graduated. The entire battalion's girls graduated. Each company had one of girls. And we were girls. We were all, I think there was only one that was over 20. So we were just girls. And I turned 18 just about the end of boot camp, I think it was, because you had to be 18 to drink. And I had a fake ID, and I finally found I didn't have to use my fake ID. I could just use my Army ID, and it didn't have your birth date on there at the time. Big old green ones, and it didn't have your birth date. So I love that because Columbia could really party down. You get 12 hours, passes and stuff. There weren't a lot, but there were a few. I get up here, we're live, and I talk to everybody as fast as I can about whatever crosses my mind or your mind. I generally don't throw in any videos. It feels, I guess, because I'm an author, it feels like plagiarism. I'm like, these guys already put these together. Most of us have seen him 230 times, whatever. And so I can't pick any to just go ahead and say, I'm going to build my show on that when somebody else has already done their show on that. So if you want to see any, let me know. I'll put them in link for you, or I'll pull them. If you're in Augusta, contact me through my email. Just give me a question. I'll throw it at you. I would love it if somebody would come up here. No, my husband and my children, no, no, mommy. They do not want to do that. Don't want to do that. I've done this now, except for when I got hurt real bad. Was laid up for you. Lots of streets and lots of steel, and but I'm on my feet, and I don't need a walker anymore. I don't need don't need any of the assistance. I'm not in a camo boot. I'm not in a wheelchair. That stuff's hard to go through. I don't know how people can do it the rest of their lives. I had to do it for a year and a half, in physical therapy and all that. And it's tough. It's really tough. You've got to go to yourself, fuck this. I want this. Let's go. I mean, you have to look forward to it. You're not going to do it. And when I started, I kind of couldn't walk. I had to hold the bars, and kind of pull it and shuffle, and, because you couldn't put any weight on it for a year. It didn't even get set at first. And the hurricane hit on the day I was supposed to have surgery. 2 weeks later, they sent me to the Augusta University to have the surgery because the VA is still down. And I've always been treated by the VA. I've always been civil service, military, and so forth. So I go in, and the Augusta hospital is attached to the VA hospital. And the little young man, he was a surgeon, he came in and he looked at you've been like this for a month? I said, yes, sir. He said, I need you at 4:30 a.m. That's a few hours now. Can you do that? So, yes, sir, I can. It took them 3 hours to do the prep because they had to numb the leg entirely to go in it. And My leg was the ankle was detached. I had 3 breaks, and there's only 2 bones in the leg, and I had 3 breaks on both those bones, so they were jagged and everywhere, and I missed being compound fractures, and that's when they come through the skin by like a millimeter, and they had not secured it, they had not stabilized it. They just said, "Don't walk on it." And this was the way it was for, most of the time. And then I had that day, the next morning, I had that surgery, and they worked on me for 15 hours. My husband went about ape shit because they said, it'd take 4 or 5 hours. Go ahead, go eat your breakfast, and we'll bring her back. This is 4:30 in the morning. They didn't even get me into surgery until like 6:30 because they were doing this numbing on the nerve thing, and you have to find it, you have to do all this stuff, and they put a curtain there, kind of your legs all the way over there, but you can't see what they're doing. It's pretty soon you can't feel it, and that's the first time in a month you weren't screaming, so that was really cool. And they did give me some pain medicine, not for long, but the VA only gave me, I think it was a week's worth. And then I had to go back to the ER, which was open at the VA during the 2 weeks that Augusta was down from that hurricane. It was mainly the tornadoes, not the hurricane. In any event, I went up there and they said, come through this and we'll take care of you. They gave me 6 pills. I could take one a day. And this way, and Tylenol, you got to take Tylenol extra strength. And I really wanted to hit him in the face and say, look, here's some Tylenol. Stomp on a foot and break it. I got some extra Tylenol. Here you go. You'll be fine. Because when them bitches go down, they write that shit. They up in there with the good pain medicine. We're out here going, what the fuck? So I turned to traditional herbal medicine. I had already, but not for things like what I went through. But it helped so much with the pain. So I got to learn a couple of things. That was amazing. And with World War tours, they had their own gardens. They had fruit trees. They had every fruit tree except I think it was an orange one and a fig tree. They didn't have that, but they had apples, prunes, pears. They had all that. Cherries. They had the big red. Oh, I love those cherries. I think they were black cherries. But they would make cobblers and all this stuff. They would, go in and can it and all that stuff. So we never had, we went to the grocery store, but mom even made her own bread. And it was very rare for us to do anything but like buy milk. And that started when Borden quit delivering. I remember when they delivered and the top was paper. I'm an old, please come see me, talk to me. Uh, I tell everybody, and ask me how we can do this. To me, it's you need to do this. You need to use this beautiful way of reaching out and touching others. It's a bar. I have a blast up here. And I would love my peoples to find me. So I'm going to go back probably and do some work on that this weekend. See if I can't maybe combine the channels or something. I don't know. I'm not that good at this yet, but I'll figure it out. That might be my girl. Let's see. She just had that baby, and he's just adorable. And she's a young girl. She used to be my neighbor. And her grandfather. Okay. Yeah, she's on her way. Okay. I'm just going to give her an emoji. Okay. So this was going to be a short one today, guys. I bet you enjoyed that because I always fidget and I deal with these cameras. My husband bought me 2 new Chromebooks because we did have some people that said they would come on the air. They didn't. But I now have 4 and I can work that out. So that's cool. And when my girlfriend says that she's going to be here in 3 or 4 minutes, she probably means she's in the driveway. She's she's so young. She's a little bit younger than my grandson and a little bit older than my granddaughter. I told my son says, "Oh, I'm not going to let her." I can't even open this one. I'm not going to let her go out with boys. And I said, yes, you are. And she says, hey, no, I'm not, Mom. I said, look, here's what you do. I guess you forgot your childhood. What you do, get you some shotgun shells. When he shows up to pick up your daughter, throw one at him and hit him with it. But when he looks at you, explain to him that those come much faster after 9 o'clock. I did that to him for some minutes, and he didn't remember until I said it. Excuse me. And he was like, I forgot all about that. You did do that. And her father, just because they were at the house with us, you know, that's the mother of his first son. They never married, and they ended up separating, going with other people. We bought this house from them because it was their starter home, and they had a surprise. They had a child on the way. Said child is a beautiful young lady who's 13, hates the world, hates school. Complete opposite of me. I loved all that stuff. You couldn't pull me away from school unless it was closed. And even then, I was probably running around doing something. I used to run around for the audio visual department. One time we dressed up as the Three Musketeers, one for, for running around. We had a blast at my school. I don't know how the South deals with school because neither of my kids got an education. I had to supplement that at home. And then I couldn't believe it with my grandsons kept saying he was writing in pencil, but he was printing. And I was like, why aren't you writing? Where's your cursive? Well, they don't want that. They don't want that. And I had an absolute meltdown. You've got to do that. And he didn't. 'Cause I went up to the school and I was lucky I didn't get tased, pepper spray, put in handcuffs, dark out. I mean, it wasn't like when my kids went. So he printed, and I still made him do cursive for grandma. So did the same with my granddaughter. She could read cursive. I always wanted to put him in a room with a rotary phone, directions in cursive. But I'm making short today. I will be up here tomorrow, and I try to get up here sometime between 12 and 3. If you throw in subscription, it's free, and it'll give you and hit the bell. It'll let you know when I'm up here, or maybe just look for me. It's Wicked Lady Hippy at the Bar Live. And if you'll put that in your search engine for YouTube, you'll see me. Please come in. You don't have to hit the like. I give a shit. Just come in here and tell me, talk to me. I think the hippies need to rise because they're blaming shit on the hippies. And we hippies, we loved everything, no war, just love and all this stuff. But then we got busy with life. Well, we're retired now. And we have this medium that we can use to talk. We can get drunk and talk and what have you about ghosts, about politics, about religion, which is damn funny because they told us when we were growing up, don't talk about none of that stuff. So I'm only going to throw in this half hour and I'm going to bounce. So everybody, give me a break. Come up here and see me. I make this look good, don't I? I don't make money doing it. I'm not averse to making money doing it. I just don't know how that works. Pardon the mess behind me. I've been out shopping. I've been doing all that. I have cats and I have a husband who just not clean. Yeah, says it all, right? So have a great day out there, everybody, and hopefully I will see you sometime tomorrow afternoon. Bless you.